Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another episode on KB Talks. We've got two amazing guests here who are working as one globule to provide amazing change within local communities, both home and abroad. BlackMan Da Traveller are two young black guys that I've had the pleasure of meeting who've come on the talk show today to talk about not only the struggles, but why they were able to make the changes they made and how they now want to impact other communities. So stay tuned, stay notified. We've got an amazing talk for you guys here today. So, my man, guys, you're the youngest guest I've had on the show.
Thank you.
That says a lot about the other guests though, doesn't it? Yeah. No problem, man. Listen, it's very important that we actually focus on not only elevation, business, success, and finance, but we also take a look into our local communities. And for me, you two are unsung heroes. What you guys are doing is amazing, but I'm not here to tell you. I'm here for the viewers to actually understand about it more. So, tell us the backstory about BlackMan Da Traveller.
Basically, I'm BlackMan Da Traveller, but my full name is Amir. And also he's my cousin, he's also managing me as well. So basically, it started off, I was going through certain issues in my life. And obviously when you're young and you're vulnerable and you hang around a negative environment in your neighborhood, you always tend to get sucked in. So I was faced with certain stuff. Let's say in 2012, I actually skipped death 3 days in a row.
Wow.
Yeah. So I almost got shot 3 times in 3 different days in a row during the Olympics.
Wow.
So when that happened, I thought I need to change my perspective in life. So I still got caught up. And then I went to Miami in 2014, and that was when I met my partner when I was 21, just randomly on the first day.
It's a good place to meet somebody.
Yeah.
Miami, was it South Beach?
Yeah, in South Beach.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I was there in South Beach. I was with a girl that was my cousin, and then she thought that my cousin was my girl. Anyway, thank God my cousin helped me out.
She didn't block you.
No.
She said, no, I'm not his partner. Go true.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And then she broke it down, and then I was still facing certain issues in my life. And then it came to 2017. Yeah. I went to Australia.
Okay.
And that was when I started to discover myself as a person.
So wait, you went to, so where in Australia did you go?
So I moved out to Sydney.
You moved out there?
Yeah.
How long were you there for?
2 years in a row, 2 years.
How old were you at this stage?
I'm 27 now. I think I was 25.
Yeah, 25.
So wait, 25 years old, you just decided, right? Because usually that's not something you hear from our community. No. That you would go to like Sydney as well. So what made you choose Sydney? So
I had 3 choices. It was either Australia, Canada, and New Zealand.
Okay.
And those are the places that do the work and holiday visa.
Yes.
And I thought I need to escape the UK because obviously certain things were happening in East London where I'm from. Yeah. And I thought I need to get out and just refine myself as a person. So I just thought, I'm going to go Australia. Went to Australia.
What were your thoughts there when he said to you, look, you know what, I'm getting up, I'm migrating to Sydney, Australia, I'm going to be gone there for a couple years, or I'm going to go and live there. What were your thoughts?
So we virtually grew up together. So my name's Kaya and I'm his first cousin. So we grew up together in the East End of London. So we went to school, college, and he was coming to a point and he said, listen, I've had enough of East London. I want to broaden my horizons. And he travelled prior to going to Sydney, Australia. He was travelling to, as he mentioned, Miami, Paris, Milan. So he'd caught onto the travel bug, and then he'd messaged me randomly in December of, was it 2017?
Yeah.
Or end of 2016? He messaged me, he was like, I'm looking to move to Australia with his missus, sorry. And then,
that it wasn't your missus, yeah. That might be a problem. Yeah. I'm going to move with your missus. You cool with that? Okay.
So yeah. So in a sense, he messaged me and he's like, right, I'm looking to move to Australia with his missus. And I'm like, wow, with your missus? And I said, mate, go for it. Why not? I've never heard of anybody from the East End or within our community or within our social circle that's decided to leave the UK, uproot everything they know and decide, right, I'm getting a 23-hour flight to another country. And it's not even, it was a fact of the matter is, it's not Paris, or it's not Milan, it's not a European city, it's across the globe. It's literally a 23-hour flight. Like, wow. So I said, mate, yeah, go for it, why not? And then he'd message me randomly, and then he'd send me pictures of him on a farm. He caught a belly snake, showed me how he's caught a belly snake and crazy stuff. I'm just like, whoa, lemon picking.
It must have been great for you though, because you're looking at your cousin enjoying life. As we're saying in Africa, enjoyment was going on there, yeah? And I mean, this is, you were dealing with a different form of snake back in the UK, who was obviously, you know, you said you avoided gunshots, and you're now in Sydney holding up, you know, actual real snakes, in control, different environment, working on a farm. And was this part of your visa?
So basically, Australia's very smart. So in terms of to get your second year, you need to do agriculture work. So that either includes hospitality, it depends what countries you're from, because each country has a different type of visa standards.
Okay.
So for the UK, for British citizens, we need to either do construction or we have to do agriculture work. So that in terms of working on the farm, melon picking oranges, zucchini, strawberries. So I've done certain stuff over there.
Yeah, that must have been very humbling then. I mean, because in the UK, 25-year-old guy, I would say call center, retail, or if you have a specific degree, you'll be working in that sort of nature. So what was your educational background then prior to obviously eloping?
Basically, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't a person that was really interested in the education system when I was young. I was very bubbly. I always had a positive energy, but I didn't come out with a degree. I never went to uni. I never came up with actually GCSEs. I came up with 2 GCSEs. So when I was young, I thought, okay, maybe there's something wrong with me. You know, maybe I got to see a psychiatrist or whatever. So what happened is I dropped out of college. I studied mechanics. I dropped out of college. I went straight into hospitality. Right. From the age of 18.
When you say hospitality, what, working as a caterer?
So first of all, I started off as a waiter.
Okay.
And then I done kitchen porting. And then I got taught from kitchen porting to become a chef.
Right.
And then gradually I was working my way up.
Yeah.
But then I thought to myself, I don't really want to work for someone. But at the same time, I need to make money to obviously help out my family and whatever.
That's right. Yeah, because I do find that the system, if you like, it does compel you to find a platform, and then now if you become educated in hospitality, now you've got to stick with it. Right. And sometimes our minds change, we grow. I mean, it sounds like you went from a boy to a man. So would you say this is a common struggle for young men, not just black men? Would you say, like, growing up in the community where you're from, East London, is this a common trait of not necessarily getting good education and not knowing where to go?
Do you know what I'd say about the education system in the UK? It's very rigid, it's very fixed, it doesn't cater for people's learnings in regards to people learn differently. Some people learn visually, some people learn audibly, some people learn socially. So it doesn't cater for all the children's specific needs. It just caters for one rigid way of, right, here's a test, we teach you to the test. If you pass, you're a success. If you fail, you're a failure. But in life, you're meant to fail before you succeed. So they don't really teach that, unfortunately. So in a sense, where we're coming from, East London, it's if you don't excel in education, or you don't play sports, or you don't do music, you're automatically seen as a bum or a failure, which isn't the case. A lot of people still excel without the education credentials. But don't get me wrong, there's still a value for education, because education does make a hard life easier, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I always say to students, because I do talks in schools, that one thing you never lose is your education. No one can take it away from you. Once you've got it, it's like a bad rep. It'll just stick with you. So you found yourself in this position. Now, in terms of the troubles that you found before going, I mean, this compelled you to say, right, I'm going to make the move to go. Now, I just want to rewind a little bit, because am I right? You guys from Africa?
That's correct.
Yeah. Where? Uganda?
East Africa,
East Africa. All right now. Hopefully we beat you in the African nations next time we meet. Go Ghana. We'll see what happens. So, okay, I know usually being from Africa, definitely from Africa, parents have a huge influence. And education is something which, is kind of standard, you have to get. So what was different here? I mean, I'm going to come to you and say, what was different for yourself then in terms of, because you said you got 2 GCSEs. Were your parents saying, right, come on, go to school, get the qualification? So what was the disparity? Why didn't that work out?
My mum was like the backbone of my family. I was not close to my father.
Okay.
Obviously, when you're young, certain parents have a favourites, or maybe certain parents have, I don't know, they don't really get along with the children. My father was there for me, but he wasn't the father type. My mum actually played both roles.
Yeah.
So she always motivated me, Amir, go to school, do this, do that. And then obviously you're just going. But I didn't feel a connection. You know what I mean? I'll be honest with you, the only thing that I loved about school was actually socialising with people and actually done drama. I was very into like theatre and performing arts. So I was always excited to go to like my drama classes, and that was one of the GCSEs that I passed.
Yeah.
So in terms of education wise, my mum was the one that was motivating.
The backbone there.
Yeah.
So if you were to give some sort of advice then maybe to parents, I mean, I'm a parent, my kids are like, the eldest is 9. But they're coming up. What advice would you give to parents understanding someone growing in a community about education and schooling? Would you tell them to do anything different, or?
I would say just keep motivating your children, but at the same time, every generation is born in a different sector. For example, I was born in the 90s, but then throughout the 90s to the early 2000s, every generation changes. And obviously, you're always going to be exposed to your environment. It's the same thing, let's say, for example, if your parents are born back home, they're used to the culture back home, but if you bring them over here, they need to adapt to what's happening over here.
Absolutely. So, and would you say schooling then, if you don't do well in school, would you say it's the be-all and end-all, or there's still a way? No. Because you guys have now gone on to make this BlackMan Da Traveller an actual thing. And let me congratulate you before we continue. I mean, moving out, I've been to Sydney. I think it's London, but better.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's like clean, it's better weather. You've got the beaches, Coogee Beach, Bondi Beach, and the economy's better. And people are nicer. It's very organized, I remember coming back to London and saying to everybody, the only thing for me is I like my black products. I like my West Indian food. I went to a West Indian school when I was young. So it means the food and the women are just something that, I don't know, it's intrinsic. And my African parents are always like, why don't you like, they're like, you took me I went to John Loughborough schools in North London, Tottenham, right? So the teachers, the head teachers, the students, everyone was West Indian. So, I do like my fufu and that, but, I kind of got a shift towards that, you know what I mean? But I think it's amazing that you did that shift to go out there. And, I do know as a young man especially, I know especially from East London, where I'm from, there are a lot of struggles. 100%. So this has led you guys on to creating this platform, BlackMan Da Traveller. Right. So how is that helping other people? Tell us about.
So basically, BlackMan Da Traveller, so I'm BlackMan Da Traveller, but then if you look at my story, I've come from a negative background in terms of I've been exposed to certain things in my area. My mum was always there for me, but then therefore, when you grow up in when you grow up in an area where there's always going to be drugs, violence, and whatever, you're going to be exposed to that type of stuff. Yeah. So I've decided to leave this country, to go to another country that I've never been, and to actually, let's just say, re-educate myself about life. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've met heaps and heaps of people all around the world. Yes. So I've stayed in hostels. I've lived in a farm for 6 months in the middle of Alice Springs, where the Aboriginals come from in Australia. So I had to understand their culture. Yes. So I've put that all together, then I've come back and I said, you know what, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. So I'm gonna start BlackMan Da Traveller, and BlackMan Da Traveller is actually a person that's come from a negative background, and he's changed his life around. And my aim is to inspire people from all walks of life. It's not about what colour skin you are. So if you come from a negative background, you can actually travel. You can go to these countries. Don't limit yourself. That's right. Yeah.
Because traveling, getting out of what you may call your comfort zone, 100%. Which a lot of the time is uncomfortable, broadens your mindset, doesn't it?
It changed my life. Yeah, traveling changed my life. When I traveled, I took my first flight in 2000 and, 97. I went back home to Uganda. I was 4? And I actually saw the real struggle, and I actually saw like family members going to the well to pick up water and filling it up in a jelly can. And
just turn the tap.
Literally, there isn't no central heating back in Uganda. Well, it's too hot for that. Electricity was sporadic. It was either on for 10 hours and it would be off for 12, or it would be on for X amount of hours and it would be on off.
We call it light off, right?
Literally, I like that one, light off. Because half the time, 12 hours would be on, 12 hours would be off. So it was crazy. And then I went back to Uganda again in 98, 99. And I thank my parents for taking me back home because they actually showed my culture. It showed where I come from in order for me to know where I was going. So then once I started traveling even more, remember when we went to Kesh back in
Yeah, to Morocco.
2015? Yeah, we traveled together for the first time in Kesh, and my cousin was like, as soon as I touched down, I got in a cab. I was like, yeah, we need to get a cab to the Riyadh. So we've got the cab to the Riyadh. I've then said, yeah, we need to get a cab to the YSL Museum. He was just like, you're getting a cab everywhere. You're not experiencing the city. And I said, what do you mean?
Oh, well,
It's
you
a
wanted to walk around.
Yeah, my cousin wanted to walk around and
Yeah.
see sights.
He's got, he's a Sydney guy, isn't he? Does the Walkabout Creek.
Proper proactive.
Yeah.
I had to adjust to the way he traveled in order for myself to adapt and say, right, do you know what? He's actually right. Let me take in the culture.
Yeah.
In order for me to take in the culture, I have to travel. I have to literally walk around, speak to the locals,
That's big,
and
yeah.
take it from there. So yeah.
Yeah, I like that because I'm like that. When I travel to a country, I almost don't want to be recognized as a foreigner. You know, I want to like literally walk the walk, talk the talk, and get involved. It doesn't really work, but I get to experience. You know, if I know they're going to a well to get water, I'm doing that, so I'm not sending somebody. You know, and I know we take our Western ways and go over there. So I mean, for yourself, then he was over in Sydney. He was doing all these bits. And he's now come back for BlackMan Da Traveller. What's your engagement with it then? What do you do?
In a sense, he contacted me. He contacted me back in March of last year, and was it 2020? And he was like, "Right, I'm coming back to the UK, and I'm looking to set up a brand, BlackMan Da Traveller." I'm like, "Okay, I'm liking the concept." And he explained the concept whereby he wanted to provide people an opportunity where we're from to show them, listen, look, there is more going on out there apart from London and Newham and the sort of negative connotations that I have within our area, and that he wanted to broaden the horizons of people within our community and beyond to say, listen, look, I've decided to leave this negative environment, travel halfway across the world to then travel to Asia to show how people in Thailand, Vietnam, Myanmar were living. And when he told me about the concept, I said, right, not a problem, that's fine. So he came back, and then we literally began proactive ideas. So we were like, right, we need to set up an Instagram page, we need to set up a YouTube page, we then need to set up a business card. So we started getting the business in motion, if percent. And we actually took a trip to Sweden to trial the business in a sense, in regards to YouTube subscribers. So we went to Stockholm for 3 days. We said, why not £50 a ticket flight back then? So
Sweden, Sweden's very cheap.
But it's not cheap. Getting there is cheap, but once you get there, it's an expense. Stockholm especially, wow, expensive.
The chronos.
The currency.
I can't remember what the value is to the pound, but
believe me, the pound doesn't stretch as you thought it would. It doesn't.
I've been to Göteborg, and it goes quick. It's like euros. You know,
it's virtually equivalent. Yeah,
right.
You're right. Yeah. So we went out there and we literally just started direct marketing. Right, we're YouTube vloggers. This is what we do. Look at our content. Oh wow, you're a YouTube vlogger. Okay, not a problem. We'll subscribe. People started warming to us, subscribing, and we took it from there.
Brilliant. So what's like a good news story then? An example of somebody you've assisted under this platform, BlackMan Da Traveller.
So we've actually got a friend of ours, Hallie. She's actually come onto our platform, and she originally she'd grown up in care, and then she actually become a financial advisor in the City of London. So literally, we've collaborated with her, and she's explained to us her story, and then she's actually been inspired by our story because we all grew up in the same sort of environment. I'll be honest, East London's got a negative connotation, but there are. With good and bad, in East London you get the good and bad.
You got Canary Wharf.
There we are, and then
you got Bow.
Yeah, so it's a lot going on, but in a sense, when we linked up with her and then we exchanged ideas and whatnot, and we collaborated with her, she then told us about her story and how her trials and tribulations and how she had to do X amount of exams, go to university, get a degree, then a master's, and then she told us that she was a financial advisor within the city. We're like, wow.
Yeah, she does it. Where's Hallie from then?
So she's Vietnamese originally, but she moved to the UK at a young age, and she literally just grew up in care. And then from there on, she just persevered on, and here she is now. She provides us with financial advice now.
That's fantastic. Yeah. You're like, look at you. you, Hallie, all blown up now, yeah? I bet you get it for a good price, though, huh?
She looks after us,
She
definitely.
looks after you, yeah. Undisclosed amount. I like that. Cool. So you want to help other people. You want to help, and maybe young people who've gone through experiences like yourself. So what platforms how do people get to do that? I'm a young person. I'm struggling. You know, how do I come on board?
So basically, we got a platform called Patron. It's like a GoFundMe page,
Yeah.
and it's under the name as BlackMan Da Traveller. So the whole concept of this Patron is we want to get 10 vulnerable children from any part of the UK, but from any city part of any city, from any inner part city from the UK.
Yep.
So it's basically we want to get 10 people, right?
That's correct, yeah.
And it's going to be £1,000 per person. And we want to raise £10,000 and actually take these vulnerable people outside of the UK. They've never left the UK.
Right.
To go to a city in Europe and show them what it's like to travel.
Yeah.
And hopefully you can open their eyes and say, look, there's more than just life.
Absolutely.
Living in this bubble that we're living.
Yeah. Well, they've got real life examples right here. So you need to actually try and amass like £10,000 to help 10 kids. But listen, that's in retrospect, in terms of what difference that will make. That's small money. So £10,000. So all someone has to do is go onto, you said Patron?
Yeah, Patron, that's right.
And then put BlackMan Da Traveller. It will bring up your account and they can donate
They
money.
can donate as even if it's £1 or £2, but every pound helps. I think eventually it's gonna grow.
Exactly. Yeah. Listen, that's gonna really impact some. Look, the first time I traveled, I was 21 years old.
Well, where did you go? Anywhere nice?
I went to Tennessee. Yeah.
Down south.
Yeah, we won't talk too much about that. It weren't really much, yeah. There was family there. But do you know what? Getting on a plane, like yourselves, I've been in East London my whole life. I'd never traveled till the age of 21. I was so old, the passport office didn't even want to give me my passport. They were like, we don't believe you. Wait, 21, and you want a passport now? You've never had it before? It's like, yes, this is my truth. And they were like, okay, so how come you have an accent? I don't know, I listen to a lot of hip hop. Maybe that's what it is. I didn't see that question on the application form, but it changed my life. Getting on a plane and just getting out did big things. So if people were able to donate, this will help you reach that £10,000 mark and you will help 10 kids. Okay, when's the target date to deliver this?
So we're looking for September 2022.
Wow, September 2022. So, okay, viewers, you see that. So if you've got a little bit of change, they're happy to even take £1. You can actually give that to them, and they're looking to impact 10 people's lives by flying them out of the UK, which I think is big. I would like seeing that story. That would really inspire me. Like seeing them go, and then them coming back and talking about what changes they've made. Where you guys gonna fly them to? Ghana, right?
No. Barcelona. Barcelona.
We gotta give money.
We gotta keep it local first. Yeah. Let them experience the European cities, broaden the horizons, and take it from there. Yeah.
But what about Miami? He met the love of his life on South Beach.
Well, what's that? A 9-hour flight?
You know what? So basically, I really want to take them first to a European city that they've never been to.
Yes.
And then eventually, hopefully, I really want to take them either somewhere in Africa. Yeah. Where they can understand the proper African culture. Sure. Because when you do watch my content, I don't make a typical travel blog. Right. My content is not materialistic. Yes. So when you watch my stuff, I do stuff like hitchhiking. I do homestay reviews. So I stay with families in different countries. Yeah. And I try to adjust to their culture, to their rules and regulations. Yeah. I do hostel reviews. So when you watch my stuff, it's authentic. It's raw. It's backpacking.
You can actually go and do it yourself.
And you can actually do it yourself, because when you do watch travel content, not to be rude, the majority are white Western people. Yeah. You don't see a person of color that's going to represent another person of color. Yeah. So my aim is to represent all those people that are person of color, but let's just say humans in general. To say, look, you could do it like this. You don't have to follow the crowd. Yeah. So that's another way.
That's brilliant. And you say you hitchhiked?
Yeah, hitchhiked. Yeah, that's right.
So how tall are you?
I'm like 6'2", I think. 6'2".
6'2". Oh, we're like the same height. So wait, I'm not that tall. So you're telling me you got a 6'2" black brother standing on the road, trying to bumps, bearded, and they stop?
I've hitchhiked in Turkey. Okay. I've hitchhiked in Australia. Fantastic. And I've hitchhiked in the Bahamas.
Let them know about the Bahamas situation.
The Bahamas situation. So basically, the first time I hitchhiked was in Bahamas in 2015. Okay. So I went there and then I was with two backpackers. two guys, one guy from Australia, one guy from Zimbabwe.
Right.
And they were like, right, Amir, we're gonna hitchhike. I'm like, okay, what's that? I couldn't even understand the concept.
Yeah.
And the guy just stuck out his thumb, and then a car just stopped, and the guy's like, yo man, where you going? And then they were like, we're going downtown. So we was at Nassau, downtown. Hop in. So we jumped in the back of this 4x4. I'm like, what the heck?
How did you feel just going to a random person's car? I would have been paranoid.
I was confused.
But the thing is, though, there was 3 of you.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
There was 3 of you, because I'd be more concerned if you're alone. If it's you one, and you know they pull up, my thumb might drop. You know, it's got to be someone that just visually I trust. But what an experience, man! I only see it in movies.
Yeah. So that was my first ever experience, and then it ended up positive. Then there was another experience when I hitchhiked, and then the guys pretending to be taxi drivers in Bahamas. They wasn't. They tried to ask us for money.
Yeah.
Things got out of hand, but eventually it ended up well for us. Sure. But then when I hitchhiked in Turkey, Turkey was one of the places that I've met the most humblest people ever in my life.
Okay.
In terms of hospitality, wherever I go, people will invite me over to the houses. I went in strangers' houses in the village. The guy was showing me his farm. He gave me like Coca-Cola, coffee. And for me to actually go to another country, to come out of my comfort zone, it shows a lot.
Yeah,
the
definitely.
growth that I've come from. And I'm just trying to show people, look, you can go. I'm not saying you can hitchhike and take the risk.
Yeah.
But the people that you meet in other countries,
Yes.
you're going to gain a lot of knowledge as a person.
That's right, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in another conversation, I was speaking with a gentleman called Liam, and we were talking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I'm just in love with it. But it does talk, I mean, the 3rd stage of behavioral development as a human does cover love and intimacy. And this isn't just with our love partners. It's also about a sense of connection that you make with other people. That level of networking enhances not only your mindset, but your ability, your resources. You're now able to do more things. And from that then comes self-esteem, which is the next level of development. So what you're going through there is growth, my man, and it's fantastic. And what you're trying to do is to help other people have the same growth. And traveling is expensive. So, you know, you're saying what, £1,000 per young person. Is there an age bracket?
We're trying to target 18 to 25, not in work, education, or training.
Needs. Not in employment, education, or training. Fantastic. Okay. Because they're the ones who need it. And what I would definitely advise is when you successfully pull this off, because you will, people are going to fund, they're going to give you the money. When you eventually get there and you bring the young people back, I would definitely talk about reaching out to other people within a community who can give different level of resources. You know, there's people who can do CV writing. There are people who do certain level of training to upskill them. There's the mental health. There's the community support. You know, I mean, look at the gentlemen we have here that are doing the video recording. They're more than happy to educate other people from the community to show them what they're doing. I think that, Adrian, you do it for free, right? That silence says it all. But you see what I mean? Have a follow-on. It's a fantastic model. And I think when you bring them back, what I would love to see is what further development you have. And you don't have to provide all the answers. This is where you can get other people with different resources to home in on your platform and help provide. And I think that will really expand it, because there's so many people with skills that want to highlight what they do. Here's a great platform for them to do it. And the leverage are the results. You know, we're not necessarily going to pay you, but here are the results. And there's mentorships, there's work placement platforms. There's so many things you can do with them. I think that's amazing. Great stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just proud of you guys. That's why I'm just staring, man. Like, damn.
Because literally, like, for me to come out my comfort zone and to get my cousin to manage me, it's a big step. Because we've done everything. It's been a short period of time. I've taken the risk. I've traveled through the pandemic. I've gone to like Turkey. I've been to Sweden. I've been to Argentina, and to see how other people live, and to go to a slum in Argentina, and I've been to a favela in Brazil, and to actually appreciate where you come from. So I brought all that knowledge back over here, and I said, you know, we can start something beautiful and unique. And the fact that we're doing this independent, it shows a lot. Because we're not sponsored by anyone. So everything's done independently. So as long as we can start something beautiful, and other people can follow, you never know what can happen.
You never know, absolutely. And if I go onto you guys' website, what's the website address?
So www.blackmandatraveller.com.
Brilliant. Okay. And do you have, what can I gain from going on your website?
So basically right now we have a clothing line as well.
Okay.
And this clothing line, it says, so my partner made the logo and it says BlackMan Da Traveller. If you ignore the word BlackMan and Da, think about the word traveller.
Yeah.
So it's kind of similar to Nipsey Hussle's type of mentality with Crenshaw and the marathon continues.
Come on.
So rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle.
Rest in peace.
So when you're in my clothing line, it represents everyone's life in different aspects. Everyone is traveling.
Wow.
We are traveling to get to our destination, whether it's a 9 to 5, whether you're trying to achieve your goals. So this shirt represents your backgrounds and your trials and tribulations.
Love that, love that. So I could go on the website and I could buy one?
100%.
Okay.
I've even got one for you today.
Literally.
As well. Yeah.
Shut the front door. Oh, look at you, just brought it out all slyly.
All for you.
Oh, wow. Yes. Because I am a black man and I am a traveller. So I'm part of the clique now.
Yeah,
The young community will accept me now, yeah? Oh, just put this on. Thank you so much, gentlemen. I appreciate that. So people can go on your website. How much are you selling these for?
That's right. So there's different prices. So the shirts can vary from, I think, $15.99 to $17.99.
Okay.
Also, we have jumpers as well.
Right.
The hats will be
Fantastic.
coming out and everything comes out in different colours and sizes available.
Okay, brilliant stuff. And the money that then you acquire from selling these clothing.
We then put back into traveling, BlackMan Da
Yeah.
Traveller, and getting more content out there and going to more remote places.
Yeah.
I call him the Black Bear Grill. The reason being is this guy will go to the most remote place and make
Yeah.
friends and connect
Yeah.
and come back with a mad story. As in like you'd be like, wow, I see it as a third eye as well, because when he came back from Australia, the things he was telling us and the activities he was getting up to and the lifestyle out there, we were amazed. We were like, wow. I've never left East London. I've travelled, don't get me wrong,
That's
but
right.
I haven't travelled for prolonged amounts of period.
To live,
To live,
exactly.
yeah. I've only travelled, 2 weeks. I've gone here, a week here, but I haven't uplifted myself in the 27 years I've been on this earth and left East London.
Yeah.
So for my cousin to do a 2-year stay in Australia, Sydney, and then come back to the ends, to Stratford, and tell all the them and all the people around us that this is what he's experienced.
No doubt.
We're like, whoa, is that how you were living? We literally, and the pictures and whatnot, we were amazed. We were captivated. The stories were just endless, and we were just feeding off all the energy.
Oh, the energy.
Yeah.
That's big. That's fantastic. You did a great step there, and I'm pretty sure you guys are going to go into higher heights. Keep it moving, man. This is great. And listen, when I captured an element of your story, that's when I was like, you got the email. You know, like, look, I want you guys on the show because we need to share this story.
Oh, man, yeah.
100%, man.
Thank you for reading thank you for reading my DM, because a lot of people are DM'd. But then you actually came back to me, and then I had to DM you, and then you were like, do you know what? Let me give you a call, and we had a great chat.
Yeah.
And then I just love how you just was on board with the concept, and you really understood it.
No, it's brilliant. I mean, hearing a young black man who's had struggles in school, or school weren't for him. I ain't gonna say struggle in school. School weren't for you. And it's not for everybody. And to turn it around to where you've got to today, and you're an entrepreneur, making business and empowering other people is fantastic. And I think you two are an example of why your network is so powerful. Because when you reached out to your cousin to say this is what you wanted to do, his response, even hearing you say it, you were like, all right, cool. And I was thinking, wow, not a lot of people would do that. And the support, which is why your network is so important to encourage what it is you're doing. And I think you're two powerful black men, and you're definitely going to fly. You're going to do great things.
Thank you.
I've even got the plan is at the end of the year for BlackMan Da Traveller is to go to 4 important countries.
Okay.
So I will be going to India for 4 months.
Wow.
I will be doing Pakistan for 3 weeks.
Wow.
And Bangladesh and Nepal. So the reason why I've chose those countries, like I said to my cousin, hopefully he will join me in this adventure. So in India and Pakistan especially, there is an African tribe called the Sahidis.
Okay.
And they are located in India and in Pakistan.
Wow.
I will be going to their village in India and Pakistan, and I'll be staying with them, and I'll be documenting this adventure. The whole concept of me going there is to show people that there is other people with different ethnic backgrounds that live in another country.
Brilliant.
So I'll be documenting this.
Yeah.
I will be going to the biggest slum in India, in Mumbai. If you've
Yes.
seen Slumdog Millionaire, I'll be documenting my stay, and I want to show people in that part of the world how people live, but the authenticness. Because these countries like Pakistan, the media portrays it in a negative way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go there and show them, look, you don't have to always see, you don't have to always follow what people show you in the media.
Right. Go see it yourself.
Go see yourself.
Which is the mantra for life, my man. People got stipulations about rich people, poor people, black, white. Go find out yourself. Fantastic. What's your YouTube plug then before we close? What's the handle?
Thank you. So if you go on YouTube, if you just type BlackMan, if you just go on YouTube and if you just type BlackMan, so the word BlackMan is together, one word, and then space DA Da Traveller. That's my YouTube channel. On Instagram is BlackMan_Da Traveller. On Twitter is BlackMan Da Traveller as well. So if you go on my Instagram, all the information is linked on my link tree, my podcast as well. And yeah.
Yeah, and you can find me on Instagram at King Kaya. So that's King_Kaya, which is Kayyaa.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Top mans.
Thank you, thank you.
Fantastic stuff. Guys, you've heard it directly from them. These are two young black men who have made great changes, not only in their lives, but looking to do it to others. I love them. They came on the show and gave me a gift. Yeah, just a bit of advice to anyone else coming on KB Talks. Bring me something. But yes, fantastic stuff. Check them out, click the handles, click the plugs, go to their pages and support them. Don't forget about the Patreon page as well, where you can actually fund their mission, which is to help 10 kids by September 2022. Thank you for watching KB Talks. Quick shout out to our sponsors. We've got KB Consultancy, Complete Care Solutions, She Does, Insight Productions, No Labels Required, and Me Finance, Big Culture London. And don't forget about RM Courts and Shakira Tanay as well, who's kept us looking beautiful on set. Thanks for watching.